Hello, future chemists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the heart of molecular structure. Today, we are diving deep into resonance, a fascinating concept in chemical bonding. We'll explore how this phenomenon explains the stability and unique properties of many molecules. Get ready to build your understanding from the basics, moving through easy, medium, hard, and finally, the most challenging competitive levels. Let's begin. Ready to uncover a secret behind molecular stability? Our easy level will introduce you to the fundamental idea of resonance and why it's so important. Imagine a molecule that can't be perfectly described by just one drawing. That's where resonance comes in. It's when we need multiple Lewis structures, called canonical forms, to accurately represent a molecule. These structures are like different snapshots, showing electrons in various possible positions, but the atoms themselves don't move. The actual molecule is a blend of all these forms, a concept known as the resonance hybrid. This electron delocalization is key to understanding molecular behavior. The true structure, the resonance hybrid, is not just an average, it's more stable than any single canonical form. This extra stability is called resonance energy. Think of it like spreading out a heavy load, it's more stable when distributed. Similarly, electrons spread over multiple atoms lower the molecule's overall energy. A great example is the carbonate ion, co-superscript 2, which has 3 equivalent resonance structures, resulting in a highly stable hybrid with identical bond lengths. Time to test your understanding with a few practice questions. Take a moment to think about the definitions, the concept of resonance hybrid, and the reasons behind resonance stability. Pause the video if you need more time to answer these fundamental questions. Now that we have the basics down, let's explore the rules and principles that govern resonance in more detail. Drawing correct resonance structures isn't just guesswork, there are specific rules to follow. Remember, only electrons, specifically pi electrons in double-triple bonds and lone pairs are allowed to move, not the atoms. All canonical forms must have the same number of valence electrons and the same net charge. Also, each structure must be a valid Lewis structure, striving to complete octets. And always use a double-headed arrow to indicate resonance, signifying that these are contributing forms to a single, real structure. Not all resonance structures are equally important. We can assess their relative stability. Structures with more covalent bonds are generally preferred. Those where all atoms have a complete octet are highly stable. Minimizing charge separation and placing negative charges on more electronegative atoms or positive charges on less electronegative atoms also contribute to greater stability. The more stable a canonical form, the more it contributes to the overall resonance hybrid. Resonance energy is a quantitative measure of the extra stability a molecule gains from electron delocalization. It's the difference in energy between the resonance hybrid and the most stable contributing structure. A higher resonance energy means a more stable molecule. This stability impacts many properties, including bond lengths, which become intermediate between single and double bonds, and even molecular reactivity. It's a key concept for understanding why some molecules are unusually stable or reactive. Let's apply these rules and concepts to some practical problems. Consider the stability of different resonance forms, draw structures for various ions, and think about how resonance influences properties like bond lengths and basicity. These questions will deepen your understanding of resonance principles. Ready to elevate your game? In the hard level, we'll connect resonance to more advanced concepts and prepare you for G-level thinking. Resonance isn't just about drawing structures, it's about understanding electron delocalization and its impact on bond order. When electrons are spread out, bonds don't behave like pure single or double bonds. Instead, they take on an intermediate character, resulting in fractional bond orders. For example, in benzene, all carbon-carbon bonds are identical, with a bond order of 1.5, leading to bond lengths between typical single and double bonds. This delocalization is directly linked to the molecule's enhanced stability. It's crucial not to confuse resonance with tautomerism. While both involve electron rearrangement, resonance involves only electron movement, with atoms remaining fixed, and the structures are imaginary representations of a single, real hybrid. Tautomerism, on the other hand, involves the migration of an atom, usually hydrogen, leading to distinct structural isomers that exist in equilibrium. Resonance structures are theoretical tools, while tautomers are real, interconverting compounds. Several factors influence the extent and stability of resonance. The more extensive the conjugation, meaning the more alternating single and multiple bonds, the greater the resonance stability. Formal charges, electronegativity, and the octet rule also play significant roles in determining the contribution of each canonical form. Additionally, bulky groups can sometimes prevent a molecule from achieving the necessary planarity for effective p-orbital overlap, a phenomenon known as steric inhibition of resonance, or SIR, which reduces resonance stability. Finally, unique cyclic systems obeying Huckel's rule exhibit exceptional resonance stability, a concept known as aromaticity. Now, challenge yourself with these hard-level questions. You'll need to apply your understanding of bond orders, differentiate between resonance and tautomerism, and analyze factors affecting resonance stability, including its role in reactivity. Think critically and use the concepts we just discussed. Welcome to the hardest level. Here, we'll dive into the intricacies of resonance, exploring its orbital basis, its role in complex reaction mechanisms, and its connection to advanced concepts like aromaticity, preparing you for the toughest G questions. At its core, resonance is about the overlap of unhybridized p orbitals. In conjugated systems, molecules with alternating single and multiple bonds, or lone pairs adjacent to pi systems, these p orbitals align to form a continuous cloud of delocalized pi electrons above and below the molecular plane. This electron cloud extends over multiple atoms, not just two. For this overlap to be effective, the atoms must be coplanar. Benzene is a classic example. Each carbon is sp superscript 2 hybridized, leaving a p orbital perpendicular to the ring, allowing for a continuous cyclic overlap and exceptional stability. Resonance is not just a structural concept, it's a powerful tool for understanding chemical reactivity, particularly in organic reaction mechanisms. It stabilizes reactive intermediates like carbocations, carbanions, and free radicals by spreading out their charge or unpaired electron density over multiple atoms. This stabilization lowers the activation energy for their formation, making reaction pathways more favorable. For instance, allylic carbocations are much more stable than simple primary carbocations due to resonance, influencing the course and rate of reactions like SN1. The pinnacle of resonance stability is found in aromatic compounds. These are cyclic, planar, fully conjugated systems that adhere to Huckel's rule, possessing 4n plus 2 pi electrons. Their unique cyclic delocalization grants them extraordinary stability, far beyond what simple conjugation would predict. In stark contrast, anti-aromatic compounds, which have 4n pi electrons in a similar cyclic, planar, conjugated arrangement, are highly unstable and often distort to avoid this unfavorable delocalization. Non-aromatic compounds simply lack one or more of these critical criteria. Understanding these distinctions is fundamental to predicting the properties and behavior of a vast array of organic molecules. Beyond structural stability, resonance has profound applications. It helps us predict the acidity and basicity of compounds by stabilizing conjugate bases or affecting electron density. It's crucial for understanding directing effects in electrophilic aromatic substitution, guiding where new substituents will attach. We also differentiate it from hyperconjugation, which involves sigma electron delocalization, and explore concepts like cross-conjugation. Quantifying resonance energy, even with advanced computational methods, remains an active area of study, solidifying resonance as a cornerstone of modern chemistry. These first 5 hardest level questions will push your understanding. You'll need to visualize orbital overlaps, compare different types of stability, apply resonance to explain acidity, predict reaction outcomes, and differentiate between related concepts. Take your time, think deeply, and articulate your answers clearly. And here are the final 5 challenges. These questions require a comprehensive grasp of resonance's influence on bond lengths, the stability of various intermediates, and the subtle effects like steric inhibition of resonance. Some might even ask you to consider dipole moments. This is where your G preparation truly shines. Good luck! And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into resonance. I hope you now have a rock-solid understanding of this crucial concept in chemical bonding. Remember, consistent practice is key to mastering these topics for G. For more such engaging and comprehensive educational content, make sure to visit synapse.ormaps.in and explore a wide range of courses. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Keep learning, keep growing.